Naruto spent 12 years trying to make people look at him. Give that same kid the power to float over the Chunin exam arena, and suddenly looking away becomes the hard part. Hey everyone, welcome back to Araragi. Today, Naruto receives 6 Paths Sage Mode while he is still the loud genin the village treats as a joke, and we follow that change all the way to the day he becomes Hokage. If you enjoy full Naruto timelines like this, leave a like and come back for more. We begin in the Forest of Death, where Orochimaru is about to put a seal on Naruto that reaches much farther than he intended. Naruto struck the ground hard enough to lose the air in his lungs. Orochimaru's hand had landed across his stomach a heartbeat earlier. 5 black points burned around the 8 trigram seal. The fox's chakra vanished from Naruto's reach, his own molding broke apart, and the branch beneath him snapped when he fell. Sasuke caught him before his head hit the roots. Naruto heard Sakura shout. He tried to answer, but the forest disappeared. He landed ankle-deep in the water of his inner world. The corridor behind him was familiar now. He knew the bars, he knew the eyes waiting beyond them. What he had never seen was the old man standing between him and the cage. The stranger carried a staff and wore pale robes marked by black shapes Naruto could not read. The sealed fox had backed away from the bars. For the first time since Naruto had met it, the animal looked past him with something close to fear. The old man did not give Naruto a history lesson. Outside, Orochimaru had Sasuke by the throat. There was time for one warning, one choice, and very little else. He told Naruto that the new seal had struck the cage, Naruto's own chakra, and an older bond at the same instant. For a few seconds, that collision had given him a road into the boy's mind. He also told Naruto that Sasuke was about to receive a mark meant to bend the rest of his life around another man's hunger. Naruto looked toward the darkness beyond the corridor.
Where is Sasuke?
The old man raised one hand. Warmth crossed Naruto's palm. It moved through his chest, behind his eyes, and out across every point where his chakra touched the world. 9 black spheres rose from the water. The old man warned him to keep them away from living flesh. They would obey shape before judgment, and if Naruto lost one, it would never come back. He said Sasuke's name once more, with a sadness Naruto had no time to understand. Naruto closed his fist.
Then move! I have to get back!
His eyes opened in the forest. Orochimaru's teeth were inches from Sasuke's neck. Gold light erupted from beneath Naruto's jacket. His pupils crossed through a ring of orange, and the earth beneath his shoulders dipped as 9 black spheres appeared behind him. Naruto did not stand. He rose. Sakura stopped breathing. Sasuke forgot to fight. Naruto crossed the clearing before either of them could call his name. He caught Orochimaru's wrist with one hand. The impact drove a trench through the leaves, yet Naruto remained hanging above the ground, toes pointed down, face level with the Sanins.
That chakra is not the fox.
Get away from him!
Orochimaru's neck stretched. A sword came from his mouth, fast enough to catch Naruto before he could turn. One of the black spheres flattened on instinct. The blade touched its surface and disappeared up to the hilt. Naruto stared at the missing steel. Orochimaru used that instant. Snakes burst from both sleeves and wrapped Naruto's arms, waist, and throat. Their fangs drove in. The gold chakra around Naruto surged. Every snake went rigid. Naruto could feel the molded chakra inside them, each strand leading back to the same cold source. He reached for that source without knowing how. A black rod shot past his shoulder and pierced Orochimaru's chest. The body came apart around it. Skin, cloth, and chakra crumbled into gray dust. Naruto dropped 2 feet in shock. The real Orochimaru tore his way out of the mouth of a replacement body near the tree line. His new face was wet, pale, and smiling. He had entered the forest for Sasuke. Now he was looking at Naruto as though the exam had placed a second prize in front of him. Sasuke moved first. He pulled Sakura behind him and threw 3 shuriken to buy Naruto space.
Naruto, stop staring at him.
Naruto, answer me. Is that really you?
Who else would it be?
A better answer would help.
Orochimaru laughed softly. He had already learned enough. Naruto could erase a body, yet the boy had frozen the moment he understood what he had done. The black spheres guarded him without discipline. Sasuke was still proud enough to hate being guarded at all. The Sannin sank into a tree and left his voice behind.
Sasuke, you may keep your neck for now. I will find another way to ask.
The killing intent vanished. Naruto landed badly. His knees folded and Sakura caught his sleeve. She looked into his new eyes, then at the untouched skin on Sasuke's neck.
Hold still, both of you.
I did not need him to save me.
His teeth were on your neck.
I saw them.
Wonderful. Next time, move.
Sakura shoved both boys apart before the argument could become another fight. Then Naruto heard the forest. Chakra moved through roots beneath him. Insects flickered inside bark. 3 Genin ran almost half a mile away. A wounded bird beat one wing against the ground. Sasuke's chakra felt sharp and hot. Sakura's trembled around her hands. Something huge waited behind the seal on Naruto's stomach, glaring at the trace of the old man. Naruto clapped both hands over his ears. It changed nothing.
Make it quiet.
Sasuke's anger dropped. Sakura knelt in front of Naruto and forced him to look at one face.
Look at me, one thing at a time. Can you feel my hand?
Yeah, too much of it.
Then stay with my hand.
Naruto held onto her wrist until the 1,000 living sparks around them became a forest again. The sound trio never found 2 unconscious boys and 1 exhausted girl. Team 7 left Orochimaru's clearing together, Sasuke unmarked, Sakura still on her feet, and Naruto carrying a power none of them could name. Team 7 still had an exam to finish, which felt almost rude after what had just happened. Naruto learned enough control to hide the gold light, though the black spheres did not vanish until dawn. He tucked them close behind his body and complained that they made sitting against a tree impossible. Sasuke took the first watch without asking. Sakura kept glancing at Naruto's stomach whenever she thought he would not notice. They reached the tower with both scrolls. Naruto entered the preliminary round sleepy, hungry, and determined to keep the strange form out of sight. Kiba found that plan insulting. He tracked the original through every clone, hit him hard twice, and announced that a new light show would not fix his smell. Naruto answered with the ordinary shadow clone jutsu, let Kiba chase the right scent, and used 2 clones to throw the original over Fang. The heel that caught Kiba was plain, physical, and decisive. No one had time to blame the dog food. Sasuke faced Yoroi without a curse mark eating at his control. He copied Lee's opening movement, finished with the lion's barrage, and walked away pretending Naruto had not been watching. By sunset, Hiruzen had 4 reports that disagreed on almost every detail. Sakura described gold chakra and black spheres. Sasuke described 1 sphere erasing a sword and a second destroying Orochimaru's body. Anko confirmed the 5-element seal. Kakashi looked at Naruto's altered pupils and admitted he had never seen them. Hiruzen did not name the power. He asked where it came from.
The man you met inside your seal, did he give you a name?
He was old, really old, and he knew Sasuke.
He knew me how?
He did not stay and explain it.
Kakashi watched Sasuke absorb that answer and store the resentment for later. Hiruzen sent for Anko, sealed the report, and asked Jiraiya to come to the tower the moment he returned to Konoha. Jiraiya arrived the next afternoon, read half a page, looked at Naruto, and asked him to float. Naruto shot through the office ceiling. The first real lesson took place outside the village where the repair bill would be smaller. Jiraiya removed Orochimaru's 5-element seal, checked Minato's work, and found another current threaded through Naruto's chakra. Naruto could reach it by becoming still enough to feel the point where his own energy met the world around him. Getting still took 3 hours and 1 threat to tie him upside down. Gold chakra finally gathered around Naruto. His feet lifted, his smile widened. Then he leaned forward and vanished through 3 pine trees. Jiraiya found him embedded in a bank of mud with all 9 spheres lined up behind him.
Flying is the easy half. Today we meet stopping.
The tree moved.
3 trees moved in exactly the same direction?
It was windy.
Jiraiya taught him to rise by inches, turn from the hips, and let his chakra hold him instead of kicking at empty air. The spheres responded to thought. A shield was easy. Returning the shield to a sphere required patience. A staff came next. Jiraiya stopped that lesson when Naruto swung it near his sleeve and the fabric vanished without heat or ash. Naruto looked sick.
I could hit somebody with that.
Yes.
Teach me how not to.
Jiraiya's expression changed. Until then, he had been examining an impossible jutsu. After that, he began teaching a boy. Kakashi joined them for the next test. Naruto entered the gold state, rose 10 feet, and declared that nothing on the ground could touch him. Kakashi exposed his Sharingan. The sky turned red. Naruto saw Sasuke falling through the forest again. The 9 spheres stopped with him. Flight, strength, and perception waited for an order from a mind that was busy believing a lie. Jiraiya broke the illusion with a sharp pulse of chakra. Naruto dropped into the grass.
Your eyes can see more. They can still be fooled.
I hate that!
Good. Hate it while your practice releases.
The month before the finals gave Naruto a way to enter the form, control his height, shape the spheres, and pull his attention down from a whole valley to one opponent. It did not teach him every jutsu. It did not make the fox friendly. It did not tell Jiraiya who the old man had been. The answer came from inside Naruto's seal one night. The 9 tails moved close to the bars and stared at the black spheres reflected in the water.
You smell of the old man.
You know him?
He knew what I was before your villagers decided I was a weapon.
Then tell me his name!
The fox lay down and closed its eyes.
Earn your own answers, brat.
Naruto entered the arena beneath a sky clean enough to make the thumbnail for us. Neji waited on the stone with his arms at his sides. He had watched Naruto beat Kiba without the gold state. He had also watched Hinata leave their preliminary fight on a stretcher after refusing to stay down. Naruto had not forgotten either part.
Whatever happened to you in the forest changes nothing about this match.
You said the same thing about Hinata! She still got back up!
She was carried out.
After she stood up in front of you again.
The proctor dropped his hand. Neji crossed the distance before Naruto could join his fingers. 2 strikes closed points near Naruto's shoulder. A third caught his side. Naruto sent out clones, and Neji removed them with clean, efficient turns. Through the Byakugan, the fight made less sense each second. Naruto's network was familiar in shape. The chakra touching it was not. It gathered around his organs, extended past his skin, and seemed to connect with the air under his feet. Neji drove his palm toward Naruto's heart. Gold light caught the strike. Naruto rose straight up. The arena fell quiet in layers. The nearest rose stopped first. Then the sound rolled outward until thousands of people were looking at the genin hanging 30 feet above Neji. Naruto looked down at his own sandals.
I stopped this time!
Kakashi lowered his book. Jiraiya laughed once from the rail. Sasuke did neither. 9 black spheres spread behind Naruto in a slow arc. Neji's Byakugan tightened around them and found no ordinary circulation. Each sphere held several chakra natures folded into a shape that looked empty at its center.
Come down and fight.
You can jump!
Neji did. He used the arena wall to change direction and reached Naruto with a palm aimed at the ribs. Naruto tilted sideways in the air. Neji's sleeve brushed gold chakra, and Naruto caught his wrist with an ordinary hand, careful to keep every black sphere behind his own back. He threw Neji toward the stone. Neji turned the fall into rotation. Chakra exploded around him, a spinning dome wide enough to throw dust into the first row. Naruto shaped one sphere into a curved shield and descended behind it. The shield touched rotation at its outer edge. The spinning chakra vanished wherever the black surface passed. Neji pushed harder. More chakra poured from every point in his body. The shield kept descending, cutting a silent gap through the rotation without touching his skin. For the first time, Neji could see his perfect defense ending before his own eyes. He stopped the technique and slipped sideways before the sphere reached him. Naruto released the shield back into a ball. Neji attacked the instant the path opened. 4 palms landed. 8. Naruto's right arm went numb. At 16, Naruto drove chakra through his legs and lifted 1 inch above the ground. Neji's next step expected friction that was no longer there. Naruto slid behind him in the air and struck with his left fist. The blow carried Neji across the arena and into the wall. He tried to rise. Naruto landed several yards away, breathing hard, right arm hanging loose.
I closed your arm.
Yeah! I still have the left one!
Neji's knee gave out. The proctor called the match. Naruto did not give the arena a speech. He pointed toward the medical section where Hinata sat bandaged beside Kurenai.
When you get up, tell Hinata she should have quit. See if she listens.
Then he looked up at the crowd that had once laughed when he failed a clone jutsu. Every face was turned toward him. For several seconds, Naruto enjoyed it exactly as much as 12-year-old Naruto should. Naruto sensed the invasion as a sour pressure behind the arena walls. Dozens of chakra signatures had changed together. Spectators who had been slouching sat upright. Sand shinobi moved toward exits instead of the floor. Feathers began to fall through the sunlight. Naruto remembered Kakashi's red sky.
Genjutsu! Wake up!
His shout gave nearby shinobi one extra breath. Sakura released the illusion. Kakashi caught a sand blade before it reached the row below him. Shikamaru slumped on purpose, opened one eye, and saw that far too many people were moving to keep pretending. On the roof, 4 sound ninja raised a violet barrier around Hiruzen and Orochimaru. Naruto flew. Anbu shouted for him to stay back. Jiraiya shouted his name for a different reason. Naruto reached the barrier and drove a black staff through the violet wall. The staff entered without resistance. Purple flame folded inward around it and went out. One of the barrier keepers broke position. Jiraiya's hair speared across the roof and forced a second away. The box opened at one corner. Inside it, Orochimaru had already raised 2 coffins. Hashirama and Tobirama stepped onto the tiles with blank faces and living bodies that felt wrong. Naruto sensed chakra moving through them, yet no life sat at the center. Paper and soil kept rebuilding whatever Hiruzen struck. Naruto sent 2 black rods through their chests. The reanimated bodies came apart and did not return.
Naruto, who told you to enter this barrier?
You were busy!
Fair answer. Watch his neck.
Orochimaru's sword passed through the space Naruto's head had occupied. Kakashi entered through the broken corner. Anbu followed. Jiraiya held the gap open and kept the barrier team from reforming. Orochimaru could survive Naruto's first frightened attack in the forest. Here, the boy had Hiruzen reading his hands, Kakashi reading his shoulders, and Jiraiya sealing every retreat along the roof. The Sannin stopped trying to win the room. He split the roof with a mass of snakes, shed another body when Naruto's staff caught him, and escaped through a summoned serpent large enough to tear down the outer wall. Hiruzen threw his staff at the fleeing head. It missed by a foot. He looked back once.
You kept your village, Sensei. I kept everything else.
He was right. His arms worked, his jutsu remained. Sasuke had no mark, though Orochimaru was still alive to find another road toward him. Naruto barely heard the retreat. Miles beyond the village wall, Sasuke's chakra was running beside Sakura's. Ahead of them, Gaara had become something enormous. Naruto turned toward Hiruzen.
My team is outside the wall!
Go!
Naruto cleared Konoha in seconds. He found Sakura pinned to a tree by sand, Sasuke on one knee, and Gaara buried inside a growing body of grit and claws. Naruto formed a black shield between his teammates and the next wave. Sand hit it and dropped without chakra.
Took you long enough.
I had to save the Hokage first!
You can rank the rescues later.
Gaara disappeared into Shukaku. The complete beast rose above the trees, sand rolling from its arms, one tail cutting a trench across the ground. Naruto felt a mind inside it, old and furious. Shukaku saw the gold chakra and heard a voice from its first memories. The beast's laughter stopped. It called Naruto Hagoromo's brat. Naruto had no idea who Hagoromo was. Shukaku fired compressed wind. Naruto spread 3 spheres into a broad shield and held it over Sasuke and Sakura. The blast carried him backward through the air, sandals skimming treetops, but the shield held. Sasuke cut Sakura free. Naruto climbed above Shukaku's head and looked for Gaara. His new perception found a human pulse buried near the forehead, thin beneath the beast's chakra. Naruto dived. Sand hands rose to catch him. He changed direction without a surface, passed between them, and drove a gold-lit fist into Shukaku's brow. The sand shell cracked. A black sphere became a wedge and cut a path through non-living sand, stopping inches from Gaara's face. Gaara's eyes were closed. The beast was using his sleep. Naruto reached through the opening and hit him. Shukaku collapsed beneath them. Naruto caught Gaara in the air. Sand poured away until both boys hung above the ruined trees, one awake, one blinking through blood and grit. Gaara saw 9 black spheres behind Naruto. He saw the gold around him. He also saw Sakura and Sasuke alive below, because Naruto had placed himself between them and every attack.
Why do you keep going back for them?
Because they're my team!
They make you weak.
You lost!
Gaara had no answer ready for that. Naruto lowered both of them to the ground. His own legs shook when they touched earth. The gold light receded. 9 spheres remained behind him until he let the state go. Inside the seal, the 9 tails watched Shukaku's chakra settle.
You carry our father's eyes and still know nothing.
Stop calling him things and tell me his name!
No.
Naruto woke on the forest floor beside his teammates. He could hear the distant fighting inside Konoha winding down. This time, no funeral waited at the end of the invasion. Hiruzen stood in the hospital courtyard that evening with a bandage around his chest, counting the shinobi who had survived because a boy in the arena looked up half a second early. Naruto had wanted the village to notice him. Orochimaru had made sure the rest of the world would notice too. Orochimaru traded information the way other people traded weapons. He let Akatsuki learn that Naruto's change could erase ninjutsu, dismantle a reanimated body, and frighten Shukaku, knowing their attention would keep Jiraiya busy while he looked for another route to Sasuke. By the time Konoha repaired its arena wall, the masked man behind Akatsuki had moved Naruto near the top of his unanswered questions. Itachi and Kisame entered the village in daylight. Hiruzen's survival meant the gates were alert and Jiraiya was still near Naruto. The pair did not expect to carry the 9 tails away. They came to see whether Orochimaru's account was true. Naruto found them first at a tea stall because Kisame's chakra felt like a shark moving through shallow water. Sasuke came around the corner a moment later and stopped so hard Sakura walked into his back. Itachi looked at his younger brother. Sasuke's hand went to a kunai.
Why are you here?
Step aside, Sasuke.
Answer me.
Itachi's eyes turned. Sasuke froze inside a brief illusion of the clan district. It lasted 1 second outside and ended before the old night could begin again. His knees touched the street. He remained conscious, furious, and spared the days of torture that had shattered him in the original timeline. Naruto entered the Gold State and flew between the brothers.
Leave him alone!
Kisame drew Samehada.
Flying kid. Suppose we start with the legs and see how much you miss them.
Wait.
Naruto looked into Itachi's eyes. The street vanished. He stood alone beneath a black sky while 9 spheres hung motionless behind him. He could sense every false crow. He could feel the chakra carrying the illusion. None of that told his body which command was real. Itachi walked past the spheres and placed 2 fingers against Naruto's forehead. Outside, Naruto had stopped in midair. Kisame raised Samehada. Itachi caught the bandaged handle before the swing.
I thought we came to test him.
We did.
Jiraiya's hair crashed through the wall and wrapped around Naruto's waist. Kakashi landed beside Sasuke. Sakura dragged her teammate back before he could charge blind into the Sharingan again. Itachi released Naruto. Jiraiya broke the remaining Jutsu and caught the boy as the Gold State failed.
This is the exact bad habit we practiced.
He looked at me!
For Itachi, 1 look is usually enough.
Kisame wanted a fight. Itachi looked toward the Enbu gathering on the roofs, then at Hiruzen's chakra approaching from the tower. The assessment was over. Black fire burned away through Jiraiya's binding technique. Before Itachi followed Kisame out, he spoke loudly enough for Jiraiya to hear.
Orochimaru has moved Akatsuki's schedule. Keep both boys close.
Kisame glanced back, unsure whether he had heard a warning or a threat. Jiraiya heard both. Sasuke pushed Sakura's hand away and stood. His brother had entered the village, dropped him with 1 look, tested Naruto, and left Naruto's teacher advice.
Why would he warn you?
Good question.
Then find the answer.
He walked away before Naruto could offer to follow. Sakura let him have 10 steps, then went after him. Naruto stayed beside Jiraiya, watching the place where Itachi had disappeared. 6 Paths power had forced Itachi to visit early. It had also shown Sasuke that his brother considered Naruto worth a trip, and Sasuke worth a single second. Orochimaru sent the Sound 4 after Sasuke 2 months later. They waited until Team 7 returned from a border mission and caught Sasuke alone near the Uchiha district. Their offer contained everything he wanted: Itachi's location, training beyond Kakashi's rules, and a master who had studied the Sharingan for years. Sasuke listened. The four took that for agreement. They showed him the coffin-shaped barrel and explained that the curse mark had to kill him once before it could fully change his body. One of them called Sasuke the next vessel. Sasuke's Sharingan caught the glance that followed.
Vessel for what?
The answer came too slowly. Sasuke drove Chidori through the ground and broke their formation.
Tell Orochimaru he can keep his power and his hands off my body.
They tried to take him anyway. Sasuke fought well. Kakashi had made Chidori safer. His Sharingan was sharper, and he had none of the curse mark's pain slowing him. Four opponents carrying altered seals plus a prepared barrier still put him on the ground. Naruto found them by following Sasuke's chakra from the village wall. He did not waste a black sphere on living genin. Gold light broke the barrier, flight ruined the earth prison beneath his feet. Shadow clones filled the trees while Sasuke called which opponent had changed shape behind him. The fight ended with the Sound Four alive, bound and furious that the boy they had come to recruit had helped Naruto beat them. Naruto cut Sasuke free.
You said no?
You sound surprised.
A little.
Cut the rope before I change my mind about coming back with you.
Sasuke returned under his own power. Naruto still arrived in time to rescue him, and Sasuke hated the distinction less than he hated Naruto smiling about it. Sakura met them in the hospital corridor. She looked at Sasuke's bruises, at Naruto's grin, and at the four prisoners Anbu were carrying past the window.
What happened?
Sasuke chose us.
I chose the village.
I heard us.
Then get your ears checked.
Sakura sat between them. There was no celebration. Sasuke had refused Orochimaru, yet the offer had reached him inside Konoha, and Itachi was still stronger than every teacher Sasuke trusted. Naruto leaned back against the wall.
Next time somebody offers to kill you in a barrel, tell us first.
It became obvious after the barrel.
For once, Sakura laughed before Naruto did. Hiruzen reviewed the prisoners himself. The invasion had shown how many wounded shinobi depended on one exhausted hospital. The attempt on Sasuke showed how easily an enemy could reach a child who trained alone. He sent Jiraiya to bring Tsunade home. Hiruzen offered her control of Konoha's medical system, its training program, and its field hospitals. He did not offer the hat. Tsunade refused twice, called him an old fool on the third conversation, and returned after she saw the ward that had treated the crush. Sakura asked to study under her before Tsunade had finished unpacking. Kakashi kept Sasuke. Jiraiya kept Naruto. Team 7 stayed active between their separate lessons. For the first time, all three children had a future inside the village that did not require one of them to chase another down. Naruto's training years did not begin with a cheerful walk out of Konoha. They began with Jiraiya dropping him into a river while he tried to hold a Rasengan and fly at the same time. The sphere burst. Naruto skipped across the water and hit the far bank.
You did that on purpose.
You lost the jutsu before I touched you.
You still pushed me.
Write the enemy a complaint.
Jiraiya taught seals because Naruto needed to understand the cage on his stomach and the new current running through it. He taught Jinjutsu releases because Itachi had already proved the need. The Rasengan taught Naruto to hold power in one hand without letting it swell simply because more chakra was available. Kakashi taught Sasuke the opposite lesson. Chidori gave him a line no opponent could ignore. The Sharingan let him place it. Kakashi made him repeat the stop as often as the strike, Dekong. Tsunade put Sakura in the hospital before she let her break a boulder. Sakura learned poison, triage, and how long a body could wait while two gifted boys argued over who had arrived first. Their first major mission together came at a mountain pass where smugglers had sealed 12 hostages inside a tunnel. Naruto sensed people beyond the rock and flew straight for them. Sasuke saw the paper tags a moment before Naruto crossed the trigger line.
Stop.
Naruto stopped with one sandal over the wire.
I saw it.
After Sasuke yelled.
The hostages were rigged to the entrance. Naruto could sense every frightened heartbeat and still had no idea which tag would detonate first. Sasuke traced the wire with his eyes. Sakura crawled under the seal array and kept a wounded guard breathing while Kakashi cut power to the last tag. Naruto held the roof when the tunnel began to collapse. He had enough strength to carry everyone. He needed his team to make sure there was anyone left to carry. Outside, while Sakura checked the hostages, Sasuke sat beside Naruto on the ridge.
You can feel 12 people through stone. You cannot sense ink on a wire.
You missed 2 behind the east wall.
Sakura found them.
Exactly.
Sasuke looked at him, annoyed to find the answer acceptable. That became the shape of their years. Naruto could cross a country faster than most messenger birds. Sasuke could see the trap waiting at the end of the flight. Sakura could tell them whether the person they reached would live. None of the three enjoyed admitting how often the order changed. Akatsuki began hunting Jinchuriki before the villages were ready to admit it. The Hidden Cloud denied that one of its hosts had disappeared until Jiraiya found the battle site himself. The stone withheld another route because sharing it would expose a border post. Naruto arrived at both places after the blood had dried. He returned from the second mission and entered his inner world without being called. The Nine Tails lay behind the bars, eyes open.
I could have reached them.
If the humans had told you where to fly.
Are you enjoying this?
I am enjoying how much you hate being late.
Naruto stepped closer to the cage.
You could have reached them?
The fox bared its teeth.
Open the gate and find out.
Naruto left it closed. By the time Team 7 returned from its training years, Naruto could hold the Gold State through a long battle, build barriers from the orbs, and cross fire country before an ordinary squad finished breakfast. Sasuke's Chidori had grown into several shapes. Sakura could keep a squad alive under fire and break the ground beneath anyone who ignored her. They had also learned how to share a camp without Naruto eating Sasuke's ration pack, most nights. Their next request came from the sand. The message named Gaara as Kazekage, Akatsuki as the attacker, and the eastern cliff where Deidara had carried him away. For once, someone had told Naruto where to fly. Gaara had lost because he protected the village beneath him. Deidara learned that within minutes of reaching the sand, he scattered tiny clay bombs into the streets and forced Gaara to choose between the attacker above him and thousands of people below. Gaara caught the explosion in a wall of sand. The defense saved the village and left him open long enough for Deidara's larger bird to carry him away. By the time Team 7 arrived, Sakura had already been handed the poisoned body of Kankuro. Naruto stood at the foot of the bed, feeling the poison spread and hating that his perception supplied no treatment. Sakura cut away the armor, read the color beneath his nails, and ordered the room cleared.
I need clean water, every puppet fragment he brought back, and quiet.
I can feel where the poison is.
Then point. Keep your hands off him.
Naruto pointed. Sakura worked. She drew a sample, built the antidote from Sasori's residue, and kept Kankuro's heart steady while Naruto described the places where his chakra thinned. When Kankuro finally drew a full breath, Naruto was still standing in the same spot. That may have been the hardest order Sakura gave him all year. The sand supplied the Akatsuki route, a fragment of Deidara's clay, and the cave location Chiyo believed Sasori would use. Kakashi wanted the team to travel together. Naruto looked at the clock, then at Gaara's brother under a blanket.
I can reach the cave before sunset.
And then you will be alone in a room built by Akatsuki.
Gaara is already alone in it.
Take a marker tag. If you find the entrance, place it, and wait 5 minutes.
5 is long.
Make it 4 and I break your legs.
Naruto took the tag. He found the cave through directions, speed, and the chakra signature he remembered from carrying Gaara out of the forest years earlier. He could not have found it from Konoha. Once close, he could feel Shukaku being pulled apart behind the rock. Naruto placed the marker and waited. He lasted 2 minutes. The black sphere he drove into the boulder erased the ceiling chakra holding it. Stone fell inward. Naruto entered behind a gold shield as the giant statue's eyes turned toward him. Pain ended the ritual. Gaara dropped from the statue's mouth before the last of Shukaku could be taken. His heart was slow, his chakra torn thin, yet it was present. Deidara swept him onto a clay bird and broke through the cave roof. Naruto followed into the sky. Sasori stayed below to keep Sakura, Chiyo, Sasuke, and Kakashi from joining the chase. The fight that followed could no longer unfold as a long duel in a sealed cave.
Sasuke, strings on my right.
Already cut.
Sakura shattered the chamber floor while Sasuke cut the puppet strings she exposed. Chiyo used the opening to turn Sasori's parent puppets against his core. Sasori died looking at the two faces he had built to obey him. Above the cliffs, Deidara discovered that owning the sky was less impressive when Naruto could stand in it. Clay birds came from every angle. Naruto felt the chakra kneaded into them and moved before each mouth opened. One sphere stretched over Gaara. Two became rods that pierced the wings of Deidara's mount without touching the rider. Naruto's Rasengan destroyed the larger bombs before they could spread. Deidara changed the field. He filled the air with microscopic clay and forced Naruto to shield his lungs while carrying Gaara. Then he sent the real attack into the canyon below, where Sakura and the others were emerging. The marker tag at Naruto's belt carried Kakashi's voice through the wind.
Kakashi-sensei, the air is full of clay.
Do not breathe it. Drive him over the canyon and give me one clear look.
You get one.
Naruto had to choose. He threw Gaara toward Kakashi's summoned hound, turned and spread 4 spheres into a roof over the canyon. The explosion struck from above and drove Naruto down through his own shield. Deidara escaped the first exchange with half a clay bird and one arm burned by Naruto's gold chakra. He looked at the living Kazekage below and realized the mission was already lost. He opened the mouth on his chest. Kakashi's Mangekyo twisted the air around Deidara, but the bomber had prepared the blast across his whole body. Kamui pulled away the center. The remaining shell still expanded wide enough to swallow the canyon. Naruto gathered his team and Gaara inside an orb barrier. White light erased the sky. The barrier held until one sphere split along its surface. Naruto felt the connection disappear. When the smoke cleared, 8 black spheres returned to his back. Deidara was gone. Naruto counted once. Jiraiya's warning from years earlier came back in full. Lost meant lost. Sakura was already beside Gaara. She pressed 2 fingers to his throat while Chiyo checked the seal on his stomach.
Is he alive?
Yes. Do not move him again.
He was falling.
Then you caught him. Now let me work.
Naruto sat in the dust with 8 spheres behind him and watched Sakura keep Gaara's breathing even. The sand village gathered before dawn. They had watched their Kazekage leave unconscious. They watched him return on a stretcher with Shukaku still sealed inside him. Chiyo walked beside that stretcher alive. Gaara woke near midday. Naruto was asleep in a chair with his head against the wall. 8 spheres floated above him because he had entered the gold state every hour to check Gaara's chakra.
You are noisy even when you sleep.
Naruto opened one eye.
You took long enough.
My village?
Outside the window. All of them.
Gaara turned his head. The plaza below was full.
Shukaku is still here.
Good. He owes me an explanation.
Gaara's mouth moved by less than a smile. The demonic statue had kept the portion of Shukaku already removed. Gaara kept the beast, his office, and his life. Chiyo kept hers. Deidara and Sasori were dead. The greater change happened after the rescue. Gaara released the Sand's full Akatsuki report to the other Kage and said exactly why. Secrecy had left his village asking for help after the extraction began. The cloud finally answered with the names of its missing hosts. The stone sent routes it had refused to share months earlier. For the first time, Naruto knew where the danger was moving before the blood had dried. Itachi sent Sasuke a crow 3 weeks after Gaara returned. The message named the Uchiha hideout and one night. Nothing more. Sasuke told Kakashi because leaving without a word had become an old temptation he refused to repeat. He still asked to go alone. Kakashi agreed to let him enter alone and placed Naruto and Sakura close enough to reach him. Itachi waited on the stone chair beneath the Uchiha crest.
Start talking.
You came to ask. So ask.
I came for answers. If you make me fight for them, I will.
Then show me what Kakashi taught you.
Their battle was a test with real blood in it. Sasuke broke the first illusion before Itachi finished forming it. Itachi escaped Chidori through a crow clone. Sasuke's fire drove his brother into Susanoo, and Itachi's cough left red across his palm. Sasuke saw it.
You're sick.
Kakashi made you observant.
Stop using him to avoid me.
Orochimaru chose that moment. He had spent years without a mark inside Sasuke. without a student in his compound, and without a body worthy of the Sharingan. He entered the hideout through the stone beneath Itachi's chair and filled the chamber with white snakes. Naruto sensed the attack outside. Kakashi told him to wait for Sasuke's signal. The roof exploded before one came. Sasuke landed in the courtyard with Orochimaru's tongue around his wrist. Itachi followed inside a red skeletal Susanoo, blood running from both eyes.
Both brothers tired, and the better body finally within reach.
I told your servants, you will never have my body.
Children refuse many things their bodies later accept.
Naruto crashed through the snakes in gold light. Sakura reached Sasuke and cut the tongue away. Kakashi drove Raikiri into the mass forming behind Orochimaru. The Sannin shed another body. 8 heads rose above the courtyard in a white serpent shape, each mouth forming a different jutsu. Itachi's Susanoo completed around him. The Totsuka blade passed through the serpent. Orochimaru understood the weapon a moment before the sealing began. He tore away 2 heads, tried to abandon the body, and found the blade pulling every piece toward the gourd in Itachi's hand.
I am not finished with this world.
You are.
The last white snake vanished into the blade. No curse mark remained in Sasuke to hold a fragment. Kabuto waited at a hideout for a master who would never return. The path that would have led him to the White Snake Sage and an army of reanimated dead ended in that courtyard. Itachi's Susanoo faded. He fell to one knee, and Naruto caught him before his face hit the stone. 6 Paths perception showed Naruto the truth at once. Itachi's chakra network was failing in places no touch could rebuild. The illness had eaten through him, and the fight had spent the time left. Sakura knelt and checked his pulse. Itachi caught her wrist before she could move him. Sasuke stood over all 3, shaking with anger that had nowhere clean to go.
Sakura, I can't fix this!
Get him inside. Sasuke, stay with me.
There is no time.
You called me here. Tell me now.
Itachi did. He told Sasuke that the Uchiha had prepared a coup after years of surveillance and exclusion. He named Danzo as the man who turned negotiation into an order. He named Hiruzen as the leader who wanted more time and failed to stop the night when that time ran out. He named himself as the brother who accepted the order, killed their clan, and spared one child while arranging to die by his hand. Sasuke listened until Itachi said he had done it for the village.
Which village?
Itachi's eyes lifted.
The clan lived inside it. I lived inside it. Which village did you save?
The one where you would live.
I lived alone.
Yes.
I hate you.
You should.
Itachi looked at Sakura.
If he wants them, give Sasuke my eyes. Danzo will come before he has time to decide.
Do not decide one more thing for me.
Itachi turned back to him.
Then you decide.
He reached up and touched 2 fingers to Sasuke's forehead.
Sorry, Sasuke. There is no next time.
His hand fell. Sasuke received no explanation with the touch. Sakura kept her fingers at Itachi's throat until the pulse ended. Naruto looked away. Kakashi stood at the broken gate and watched root masks gather in the trees. Danzo's order was simple. Recover Itachi's eyes. Kill Sasuke before the truth left the hideout. Bring Naruto back alive if possible. Root entered from 4 sides. Kakashi met the first squad at the gate. Sakura carried Itachi's body into the stone hall and sealed it inside a scroll. Sasuke's new Mangekyo turned through tears he had not wiped away. Naruto placed himself between Sasuke and the masked shinobi.
Move.
No.
He ordered my family killed.
Then reach him alive.
Sakura stepped beside Naruto.
Both of you move. Kakashi needs the door.
Team 7 fought its way home. Danzo waited beneath Konoha in the chamber where Root kept its oldest records. He had already removed the bandage from his arm. Sharingan opened across the skin. Sasuke's first Amaterasu killed him. Then Izanagi returned him to the room. The battle became an argument written in disappearing eyes. Danzo survived a Rasengan through the chest, Sakura's fist through the floor, Kakashi's lightning across his shoulder, and Sasuke's Susanoo arrow. Each death closed another eye on his arm. Naruto could feel the moment reality changed. He could not stop the change, yet he could tell Sasuke when Danzo's chakra returned.
Left side. 3 steps.
I saw him.
Then hit him.
Sasuke did. Danzo spent his last eye and found the whole team waiting when he returned. His hand went to the seal on his chest. Kakashi recognized it.
Everyone out, now.
Black markings spread across Danzo's body. Naruto caught Sasuke and Sakura, formed a gold shell around Kakashi, and flew through the ceiling as the reverse 4 symbol seal consumed the chamber beneath them. Danzo died with the root archive he had tried to protect. Hiruzen met them above ground. He saw Itachi's sealed body in Sakura's hand. He saw Sasuke's Mangekyo and the root blood across Kakashi's vest. For several breaths, the third Hokage looked exactly as old as he was.
Danzo gave the order after I told him to wait.
You were Hokage.
Yes.
Then it was your order too.
Hiruzen did not ask for forgiveness.
It was my failure, and the village buried it under your name. I will open every record. Root ends tonight.
And you?
When Akatsuki is stopped, I will say it before the village and leave this office.
If you survive that long.
I have earned that.
Tsunade transplanted Itachi's eyes only after Sasuke asked. Recovery took weeks. When the bandages came away, his Mangekyo no longer burned itself blind with each use. He had gained the eternal Mangekyo inside Konoha, surrounded by teammates who knew the truth and a Hokage who could no longer hide from it. That kept Sasuke beside them. It did not restore his faith in the people making decisions above them. Itachi's last intelligence named the Hidden Rain, 6 bodies, and a red-haired man who never appeared in public. Jiraiya read the report twice. Years earlier, he would have entered alone and left Naruto a coded message if he died. Now Naruto could cross the rain in minutes, perceive chakra through walls, and had already learned what happened when villages kept locations secret. They went together. Rain fell through the whole city. Naruto sensed hundreds of civilians, paper moving without wind, and 6 identical chakra signals turning toward him at once. Pain did not wait for an introduction. The animal path filled the avenue with summons. Naruto flew above the first rhino and found a bird already waiting. Shared vision let every body see through the others. A blind angle remained blind only until one of the 6 turned its head. Jiraiya trapped 3 bodies inside a barrier and called the pattern.
All 6 share their eyes. Stop chasing the one in front of you.
Then make one close its eyes!
Naruto spread shadow clones across the rooftops. Pain absorbed their Rasengans, pulled them from the air with gravity, and rebuilt a broken body behind the human path. Naruto stopped feeding jutsu into the absorber. He shaped 2 black spheres into walls and cut lines of sight instead. For the first time, shared vision became a crowd trying to see through shutters. Jiraiya dragged the animal path into a toad's mouth and sealed it. Naruto flew through the opened lane, struck the Naraka path with an ordinary gold-lit fist, and erased the dead body's chakra receivers before it could restore another. Pain adapted. The Deva path pulled every black sphere away from Naruto. At the same instant, the human path reached for Jiraiya's head. Naruto chose Jiraiya. He abandoned the spheres, crossed the street, and broke the dead wrist before it touched his teacher. 7 spheres curved back toward him. The 8th kept flying under the Deva path's gravity, crossed the edge of Naruto's control, and vanished into the flood channel below the city. The Asura path opened its skull behind him. Jiraiya shoved Naruto down. The missile took Jiraiya across the shoulder and spun him into a wall.
Pervy sage!
Arm is still attached. Finish looking.
Naruto looked. Every path carried the same foreign chakra through black receivers. The signals did not begin in the bodies. They crossed the rain and converged beneath a tower outside the central district. The Deva path raised one hand.
You were given power without knowing pain. You use it to preserve the people who produce this world.
You do not know what I lost.
Then show me.
Almighty Push tore the avenue apart. Naruto turned 6 spheres into a wedge and drove into the force. Buildings peeled away on either side. Jiraiya anchored himself inside a toad barrier and kept civilians below it. Naruto kept moving until he reached the Deva path. His fist passed through the first defense and stopped against the next gravity pulse. The 5-second gap Jiraiya had counted arrived. Naruto's second hand closed around the receiver in the body's cheek. He pulled it free. The Deva path dropped. Naruto did not search the city blindly. He followed the active receiver in his hand toward the source and carried Jiraiya with him. Konan filled the road with paper. Jiraiya called her name. The attack hesitated long enough for Naruto to put a black shield between them and the tower. Nagato waited inside, thin arms fixed to the machine behind him. He looked at Naruto's eyes and the spheres at his back. The anger in his face gave way to recognition.
Hagoromo's chakra, given to a leaf Jinchuriki.
Naruto finally had the old man's name.
You know his name.
The Rinnegan was said to belong to him. Did he tell you what the leaf did to the rain?
No.
A convenient father.
Jiraiya stepped into the room with one arm held close to his body.
I should have told him. I should have come back for you too.
You came back with the leaf's greatest weapon.
I am right here.
Then tell me what you are.
Naruto looked at the 6 bodies lying across the city, at Jiraiya's bleeding shoulder, and at the rods holding Nagato upright.
A kid who still does not know enough. I know putting everybody in that statue will not fix what happened here.
And your answer?
I do not have one yet.
Nagato almost laughed.
Then you have power and an empty hand.
Maybe. I am still stopping you.
People die while you look.
I know. 2 Jinchuriki died because their villages would not tell us where they were. Gaara lived because his village finally did.
Jiraiya lowered himself beside the wall.
Nagato, you wanted me to see what you built. I see it. Now choose what it does next.
Nagato's gaze moved from his teacher to Naruto. Rain tapped against the machine behind him. His fingers tightened once, then opened. Nagato disconnected the first receiver from his arm. He told them the statue held chakra from the captured beasts. He told them the masked man intended to combine that chakra and cast a genjutsu across the world. He told them where the remaining Akatsuki cells were moving. Konan folded the first map herself. After the wounded had been moved, Naruto searched the flood channel. The current had carried the missing sphere beyond his reach. 7 remained. He and Jiraiya left the next morning to warn the Kage. Konan stayed with Nagato to move the statue away from its old chamber. For one day, Jiraiya allowed himself to believe all 3 of his students had survived him. Obito arrived in the rain after dark. Konan forced him into a sea of paper bombs. He sacrificed 1 Sharingan to Izanagi and returned after the blast should have killed him. Nagato had no 6 bodies left, little chakra, and no desire to hand back the plan he had abandoned. Kamui reached him anyway. By the time Naruto felt the distant receiver vanish, Nagato and Konan were dead. The masked man had 1 Rinnegan behind his mask and the demonic statue under his control. Naruto had saved Jiraiya. Pain had never touched Konoha. He still reached the rain one night too late. Obito declared war before the 5 Kage finished arguing over who would command the alliance. He appeared at their council in the identity of Madara Uchiha and told them the statue already held the 2 through 7 tails. It held a piece of Shukaku from the interrupted extraction, a severed 8 tails tentacle taken during Kisame's failed hunt, and 9 tails chakra recovered from the preserved remains of the Gold and Silver brothers. Obito had fragments of the final 3 beasts. Their living bodies remained sealed inside Gaara, Bee, and Naruto. The result would be incomplete. Obito only needed it alive long enough to become its host.
Bring me the 8 and 9 tails, and the war can end before it starts.
You came to demand our people and call that peace. We refuse.
Then prepare your graves.
The projection vanished. The alliance that followed was earlier than canon and far less comfortable. The sand trusted Naruto. The cloud trusted its own walls. The stone remembered every border Konoha had crossed. Gaara forced the first useful agreement by placing his capture report on the table and asking which Kage planned to repeat it. Naruto sat through one meeting before Jiraiya let him leave. He entered his seal and found the 9 tails standing behind the gate.
The old man gave his power to one brother again. Even dead, he repeats himself.
Sasuke is not my brother.
Learn to lie better.
Naruto sat in the water.
I need your help.
You have his eyes, his chakra, and 7 of those filthy spheres. Why ask me?
Because they are coming to take your chakra too. Because you know the old man, and because I am tired of fighting with a gate between us.
The fox lowered its head until one eye filled the space between the bars.
You could open it and die.
I could have done that years ago.
Why didn't you?
I wanted you to choose.
The Nine Tails had watched Naruto carry Hagoromo's power since the forest. It had watched him spare living enemies from the spheres, lose people he could not locate, and leave the gate shut after every angry invitation. It had watched him save Shukaku twice. The fox placed one claw against the seal.
My name is Kurama.
Naruto stood.
Took you long enough.
Open the gate before I change my mind.
Naruto pulled the seal away. Kurama's chakra met the gold around him without swallowing it. Naruto felt the fox's strength, anger, and dry amusement settle beside his own. For the first time, the cage opened without either of them trying to overpower the other. Outside, Jiraiya saw Naruto's eyes open and heard a second voice under his laugh.
He finally gave you a name?
Kurama.
Do not shout it at everyone you meet.
Too late.
The Alliance marched at dawn. Without Kabuto, the dead stayed dead. There was no army of former Kage, and no Madara walking back into history. Obito had white Zetsu instead, thousands of bodies grown for infiltration, and a war designed to make old allies suspect each other's faces. Sakura and Tsunade built the medical camps around identity checks and chakra signatures. Naruto could identify Zetsu once he stood near them, so he sent clones along the front. Sasuke used Sharingan to catch changes Naruto's broad perception missed. Hiruzen held the command line, with all 5 basic chakra natures. Jiraiya and Gue broke the largest Zetsu formations before they reached the wounded. Gaara brought the sand, Killer Bee brought the 8 tails, and several verses the Alliance would have survived without. Obito came for Naruto himself. 7 black spheres struck the masked man from 7 angles. Every one passed through him. Sasuke's arrows, Gaara's sand, and Bee's blade followed with the same result. Kakashi watched a kunai disappear through Obito's shoulder. A scratch appeared on the stone inside Kamui's dimension when Kakashi looked through his own eye.
His body is entering my Kamui space.
I can feel when his chakra leaves here.
Then force him to return into an attack.
They did it as Team 7. Sakura broke the ground and filled the field with stone, taking away Obito's clean footing. Sasuke covered every place he could rematerialize with Amaterasu. Naruto attacked through the remaining path. When Obito shifted away, Kakashi sent 1 black sphere into Kamui after him. The sphere became a rod inside the other dimension and pinned the Rinnegan's chakra chain to the floor. Obito had to return to the battlefield fully solid to keep the rod away from his body. Naruto's Rasengan hit the mask. It broke. Kakashi saw Obito's face beneath it.
Obito.
It took you long enough.
I watched you die.
You watched me die. You watched Rin die. Then you kept serving this village.
Naruto could feel Kakashi stop thinking like a commander. Obito saw it too and moved for the eye. Sasuke's Susanoo hand caught him.
Kakashi. Grieve later.
Kakashi closed his fist.
Right.
The rod inside Kamui remained behind when Naruto's link to it broke. 6 spheres were left. Obito had lost the mask and the safety of fighting as a legend. He still had the statue. He summoned it at the center of the battlefield. The demonic statue swallowed the stored fragments. Its 10 tails emerged at uneven lengths. 1 eye opened halfway. The creature lacked the whole 8 and 9 tails and carried only part of Shukaku, yet its first scream flattened trees across the valley. Kurama recoiled inside Naruto.
It is wrong. Too much is missing, and it is hungry for all of it.
Obito drove the Rinnegan's receivers into his own chest. The incomplete 10 tails folded around him. When he emerged, white skin covered half the battlefield. Black spheres formed behind his back. His staff cut through the Alliance barrier with 1 swing. The world finally held an opponent who could meet Naruto's spheres directly. Their first collision destroyed 2. Naruto felt both disappear and had no time to count. Obito's next staff became a blade wide enough to reach the medical division. Guy opened the 7th gate and struck its side with a blue shockwave. Gaara dragged the wounded below the cut. Hiruzen raised an earth wall. Tsunade held it upright with both hands after the first layer broke.
Naruto, the opening is now.
Naruto and Sasuke entered together, gold chakra inside a purple Susanoo. Jiraiya filled the creature's blind side with toad oil. Sasuke lit it. Naruto drove a Rasenshuriken into the damaged seam. Obito absorbed the blast into the 10 tails and sent it back as a mass of black spikes. Naruto put one sphere around Sakura and the patients nearest her. The spikes shattered it. 3 remained. Sasuke saw the next spear before Naruto did. Naruto's attention was inside the 10 tails, following the voices trapped beneath Obito's chakra. Sasuke moved his Susanoo between them. The black spear passed through the armor and entered Sasuke below the ribs. His Susanoo vanished. Sakura caught him before he reached the ground.
Sasuke, stay awake!
It was in my way.
Stop talking. Naruto, keep Obito off me.
Can you save him?
If you move now, no.
Naruto stayed. Sakura placed both hands over the wound. The spear had torn through Sasuke's liver and opened a major vessel. She could close tissue. She needed blood moving through his brain while she did it. Tsunade reached her, took over the vessel, and ordered Sakura to keep his heart beating by hand. Naruto held a gold barrier over them while Obito hammered it from above. Sasuke's eyes closed. He found Hagoromo waiting. The old man showed him the forest, the choice he had made, and the power he had placed entirely in Naruto's hands. He had acted to stop Orochimaru and preserve one boy from a mark. He had also repeated the oldest mistake between his sons, trusting one side with strength and expecting the other to understand later. Sasuke did understand. That was the problem. Hagoromo gave him the complementary yin power and the Rinnegan. He gave Naruto the sun mark he had withheld in the forest. The marks could seal the 10 tails and separate its captives. They could not erase the years that led both boys to that battlefield. Sasuke's left eye opened in Sakura's hands. The Rinnegan turned once.
Sakura, move your hand.
No.
I need to stand.
You need blood. 2 more minutes.
Naruto looked at the sun mark on his palm.
He talked to you too!
Finally.
For 2 minutes, Team 7 held its ground around Sakura's hands. Then Sasuke stood. Naruto could hear the tailed beasts inside the incomplete 10 tails now. One memory reached him before he entered. The fraction of Shukaku inside the creature remembered the boy who had pulled Gaara from its forehead and returned the Kazekage alive.
They know the old man's chakra. They do not know you.
Then help me introduce myself.
Do it yourself.
He entered through the receivers while Sasuke used his Rinnegan to move between Obito's attacks. Naruto met the captured beasts in the dark and asked for their chakra so he could pull them free. He promised to return it with them. One by one, they placed a fist, hoof, or claw against his hand. Their chakra joined his because they chose it. Outside, Naruto's Rasengan changed with each voice. Lava burned through the 10 tails shell. Magnet chakra fixed its limbs to Gaara's sand. Boil chakra drove Naruto through Obito's staff. None had belonged to Naruto in the forest. Sasuke opened the path to the core with Susanoo. Naruto caught the statue's jaws with 2 of his last 3 spheres and held them apart while the alliance pulled on the exposed beast chakra.
The core is open. Naruto, now.
Gaara, pull!
Shukaku is already moving.
The jaws closed and swallowed both spheres. One remained. Killer Bee and Kurama pulled from the front. Gaara called Shukaku's chakra back to its living host. Jiraiya bound Obito's legs. Guy, exhausted from the 7th gate, kept one hand on Lee's shoulder and shouted until the younger fighters matched the pull. Obito lost the tailed beasts. Naruto and Sasuke reached him together. The sun and moon marks touched his chest. 6 paths Chibaku Tensei closed around the incomplete 10 tails. The statue, the fragments, and the empty shell rose inside a growing mass of stone. The living beasts fell free into the hands of the alliance. The marks vanished from Naruto and Sasuke's palms. Obito hit the ground as a man again. For a few breaths, the battlefield did nothing. No second enemy climbed from a coffin. Madara remained dead. The sky stayed its ordinary color.
Is it over?
Wait.
Then something black moved out of Obito's sleeve. It spread across his neck and reached for the Rinnegan. Its chakra felt unlike Obito, unlike the 10 tails, and unlike any living mind Naruto had sensed. It was a will hiding inside another will, old enough to recognize Hagoromo, and angry that the statue had been sealed without restoring its mother. Black Zetsu tried to take Obito's body and keep Kaguya's plan alive. Naruto called his final sphere forward. Black Zetsu abandoned Obito and flattened across the ground, racing for the cracks in the battlefield. The sphere became a broad black ring and closed around it. For the first time, Naruto aimed without fear of a living person inside. The ring collapsed. Black Zetsu disappeared. Naruto felt his last sphere go with it. Kaguya would never return. Infinite Tsukuyomi would never begin. There was no ancient enemy left for Team 7 to fight. Sasuke looked at the freed-tailed beasts and raised his Rinnegan. The 6 fully restored beasts froze. Sasuke caught each of them in a Rinnegan Jinjutsu and raised black stones around their bodies. 6 new satellites formed over the battlefield. Shukaku's stolen chakra had already returned to Gaara, the 8 Tails fragment to B, and the 9 Tails fragment to Naruto. Naruto stared at Sasuke.
What are you doing?
Finishing the war.
The war is finished. Release them!
Then the villages return home. They hide their weapons, bury their records, and wait for the next leader to fail.
Hiruzen heard the sentence without looking away. Sasuke faced Naruto.
Rule with me.
The battlefield was so quiet that Naruto heard Sakura's breath catch behind him.
Say that again?
You have the power every village follows when it is afraid. I have the eyes that can keep their weapons under control. We remove the choice from the people who keep making the same one.
You want to lock up everyone who might tell you no.
Your gate kept you alive.
I hated it.
Sasuke looked toward the old Hokage.
He wanted time. Danzo wanted obedience. My brother wanted me ignorant. Every one of them chose for people weaker than they were.
He is right about me.
It does not make him right about everybody else.
Gaara shared intelligence after Akatsuki put him on a table. The other Kage listened after their own hosts disappeared. Fear moved them. We can make it permanent.
Naruto remembered the arena, the first time every face had turned toward him. He remembered liking it. He also remembered Sakura's hand in the forest, holding his attention to one person when sensing everyone had become too much.
No.
Think first.
I have been thinking about it since you started talking. Still no.
Sasuke's gaze tightened.
Then I do it alone.
Kakashi exposed his Sharingan. Sakura stepped toward Sasuke. Naruto held one arm out to stop them.
Do not tell me to stay out of this.
I need you here when those things come down. Keep everyone alive.
And you?
I am going to hit Sasuke until he stops being stupid.
Try.
Sasuke changed places with a stone at the valley edge and vanished. Naruto rose after him. They did not need to name the destination. Both knew where 2 enormous statues waited across a waterfall, built for brothers who had mistaken power for the right to decide everyone else's future. Sasuke stood on Madara's statue. Naruto landed on Hashirama's. Years earlier, Naruto might have opened with a speech, and Sasuke might have answered with silence. They had grown up on the same missions. Each knew where the other's first attack would begin. Sasuke fired before Naruto finished landing. Amaterasu covered the head of Hashirama's statue. Naruto flew through the black fire and let the gold chakra around him burn away at the edges. Sasuke changed places with Naruto's shadow, appeared above him, and drove a Chidori into his shoulder. Naruto caught the wrist before the blade reached his heart.
You still warn me with your shoulder.
You still talk after getting stabbed.
Naruto headbutted him. They fell through the waterfall together. Naruto had more years inside his 6-path state. He owned the air, sensed Sasuke's position through spray, and carried chakra freely given by the beasts. Sasuke had the Rinnegan, the eternal Mangekyo, and 6 prisoners above the battlefield feeding his Susanoo. Naruto had spent years learning the form. Sasuke had spent those years learning how to fight beside it. Sasuke's complete Susanoo split the river. Naruto met it in Kurama's chakra body. The collision tore both statues across the chest. Sasuke moved between falling stone and struck from places even Naruto's perception reached too late to name. Naruto answered by changing direction in open air and forcing Sasuke to spin his eye faster than he could recover. Sasuke drew more chakra from the imprisoned beasts. Lightning gathered in his Susanoo's bow until the clouds above the valley bent toward it. Kurama felt the theft.
He will empty them to win.
Then we catch it.
I hate your plans.
They always work.
Your friend said you should lie better.
Sasuke released the arrow. Naruto built a Rasen Shuriken with Kurama and the chakra the other beasts had shared by choice. The two attacks met above the valley. Light filled the river, climbed the cliffs, and took every remaining leaf from the trees. Neither boy had a truth-seeking orb left to hide behind. They fell out of their giant forms and landed on broken stone. Sasuke's Rinnegan bled. Naruto's right shoulder hung loose from Chidori. Their chakra had dropped far enough that the next exchange looked almost like the academy yard. Kicks, missed punches, breath, and two boys too stubborn to stay down. Sasuke caught Naruto across the mouth.
You had everything before you understood any of it.
Naruto hit him in the ribs.
You were there. You could have helped me understand.
I always had to help you use what I could never reach.
Then say that. Do not put Gaara in the sky because you are mad at me.
Sasuke kicked him away.
You think everything comes back to you.
You asked me to rule the world with you 5 minutes ago.
Even Sasuke had no quick answer for that. The pause lasted one breath. Then both formed their final jutsu. Chidori gathered in Sasuke's left hand. Rasengan turned in Naruto's right. They ran across the same water where their older selves had once fought over whether Sasuke would leave. Here, Sasuke had stayed. He had learned under Kakashi, fought beside Sakura, heard the truth from Itachi, and chosen this plan with every fact in front of him. Naruto was not retrieving him, he was refusing him. The jutsu collided. Dawn found them beneath the broken statues, blood running together through a shallow strip of river. Naruto's right arm ended above the elbow. Sasuke's left did the same. Neither could move. For a while they listened to the water.
Why did you refuse?
I told you. It was stupid.
The real answer.
Naruto breathed through the pain.
I spent years with a gate between me and Kurama. Everybody called it safety. It was still a cage. I will not build a bigger one and call myself Hokage.
Sasuke watched the sky brighten over the valley.
People will fail again.
Then we stop them again.
Forever?
If we have to.
Idiot.
You lost.
Sasuke gave one tired sound that might have been a laugh. His Rinnegan turned. Far behind them, the 6 prisons opened. The tailed beast returned to the ground free. Sakura found the boys beside the river and knelt between them, much as she had in the forest years earlier.
Both of you are idiots.
He started it.
He flew after me.
Stop talking.
This time, they listened. Hiruzen kept his promise. He opened the Uchiha records, named Danzo's order, described his own delay, and accepted responsibility before the village. Some people called the confession too late. Sasuke agreed with them. The records still changed what every child in Konoha would be taught about the empty district. Hiruzen retired. Tsunade became 5th Hokage and rebuilt the allied medical system she had run during the war. Years later, Kakashi became 6th and turned wartime intelligence sharing into permanent village channels. Gaara kept the sand at the center of that alliance, partly because he trusted Naruto and partly because he knew how quickly Kage returned to bad habits when meetings ran long. Jiraiya lived to complain about all 3 administrations. He also lived to see the reign rebuild around the choice Nagato had made before Obito arrived. Sakura became one of the people other villages requested when their own medics ran out of answers. She built a training system that did not depend on one Tsunade standing in every hospital. Sasuke refused a replacement arm. He left on an atonement journey with Itachi's eyes, Orochimaru's history absent from his body, and a world he had almost placed under guard. He returned often enough for Naruto to pretend the visits were annoying. Kurama remained where it had begun, inside Naruto. The gate stayed open. Naruto no longer had truth-seeking orbs. The sun mark had vanished after the seal. He could still fly, sense chakra, use the strength Hagoromo gave him, and call on the chakra Kurama and the other beasts shared willingly. He spent the years before office doing the least glamorous part of his dream, showing up for councils, learning budgets, listening when smaller villages said the alliance still treated them as roads between larger ones. The boy who once sensed a whole forest and begged for quiet learned how to stay with one voice at a time. On the morning Naruto became Hokage, he arrived early. The tower stairs curved above him. Assistants carried boxes toward the office. Kakashi waited at the top with the hat. Tsunade stood beside him, already threatening to leave if the ceremony ran longer than planned. Sakura had sent 3 reminders. Sasuke was somewhere in the crowd pretending he was not. Naruto put one hand on the rail and started climbing. Kurama watched through his eyes.
You know you can fly.
Naruto kept walking.
Everybody else had to walk.
It is 6 floors.
You're not the one climbing.
I can feel your knees.
Naruto laughed and took the last steps 2 at a time. The village was waiting when he reached the roof. So were Gaara, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Sakura, Kakashi, Hiruzen, and Sasuke. Naruto looked over the faces below him, then accepted the hat. He had finally reached the place where everyone had to look up. He had taken the stairs. We started with a 12-year-old who finally made everybody look up. By the end, he chose to climb at their pace. I want your answer to one thing. Should Hagoromo have reached Sasuke in the forest alongside Naruto? Let me know below. If you enjoyed walking through the whole timeline with me, subscribe to Araragi for more Naruto what-ifs. Thanks for watching.